It was supposed to be just another night in Atlanta, another flashy evening filled with music, lights, and the city's characteristic parade of celebrities. The clubs here are renowned for their electric energy, for crowds dressed to impress, and for the artists and athletes who make their presence felt. But what unfolded that night transcended the usual glitz and glamour. It felt like a storm everyone had seen brewing on the horizon, yet no one expected it to explode with such ferocity. And at the very center of the maelstrom was Pierre, an actor entangled in persistent whispers regarding his ties to Tiana Taylor, with the formidable shadow of her estranged husband, Iman, looming larger than ever when Aaron walked into the club. His intention appeared to be a simple, low-key night out. Witnesses described his entrance as understated, an attempt to blend into the background and avoid drawing attention. But in Atlanta, drama has a way of tracking you down, even in the darkest corners of a crowded room. From the moment he stepped through the doors, eyes were on him. In a city built on connections and respect, whispers don't stay confined to digital comment sections. They leak into the very air, and on this night, the atmosphere was heavy with implication. The air thrummed with bass from the music, layered with the buzz of 100 conversations. But beneath the surface, a different current was flowing. For months, Aaron's name had been linked to Tiana Taylor in ways he likely never anticipated. Rumors of him overstepping, of intruding upon the fragile remains of her marriage to Iman, had painted a virtual target on his back. Online, fans were fiercely divided, some defending him as merely a friend or professional colleague, others adamant he was a catalyst in the couple's very public unraveling. That kind of chatter is never harmless. In an ecosystem where perception is reality and respect is currency, such rumors possess the potential to transform a normal night into a powder keg. The shift in the room was palpable. Aaron, trying to maintain his composure while ordering drinks and chatting with a small group of friends, was being watched. The stares weren't casual or curious. They were intense, deliberate, and emanating from a specific contingent, Iman's crew. These weren't random patrons. They were men who carried Iman's loyalty like a badge of honor, individuals not known for letting a slight real or perceived go unanswered. You could feel the intent. This was not going to end quietly. The first sign of trouble was a subtle change in the room's energy. The music still blasted, but conversations began to hush and pivot toward that one tense corner. Phones were lifted, not to capture the DJ, but to document the unfolding drama. Atlanta operates like this. The crowd becomes a live news feed, sensing a story before it even breaks. Aaron felt it too. His posture straightened. His expression shifted from relaxed to guarded, and in an instant, the mood transformed from a vibrant party to a tense standoff. Witnesses recounted seeing one of Iman's men begin to circle, moving closer with the predator's patience, soon joined by others. Suddenly, Aaron was no longer just a guy having a drink. He was isolated prey. The confrontation began not with shouts, but with sharp, guttural whispers that cut through the music. "You don't belong here," one allegedly muttered. Another leaned in, a universally recognized gesture of impending violence. The crowd instinctively pulled back, creating a widening circle, a silent arena for the conflict everyone knew was coming. Security noticed and began to move, but they were already too late. The energy had reached its breaking point. Voices escalated. A member of the crew stepped chest to chest with Aaron, whose calm facade finally cracked, revealing a flicker of fear. He attempted to talk his way out, to de-escalate, but the walls were closing in. He was surrounded, and the audience, with their phones held high, was waiting for the climax. Then came the catalyst, a single, forceful shove. A hand to Aaron's shoulder sent him stumbling, his drink flying, the liquid splash punctuated by a collective gasp from the crowd. The atmosphere shattered into pure chaos. Security fought to insert themselves between the groups, but Iman's crew was locked in. Aaron's friends, recognizing the dire situation, pulled him back, weaving desperately through the throng of bodies as they made a beeline for the exit. The chaos spilled outwards, a scramble of screams, spilled drinks, and a cleared dance floor. Behind them, Iman's crew pursued, pushing past security, their voices echoing threats into the night air. "Run!" someone yelled from the crowd. And run he did. The scene erupted onto the street, transforming Atlanta's nightlife into a cinematic chase sequence. The chaos spilled under the neon lights, with patrons flooding out of the club, phones still recording. Aaron was seen rushing toward a waiting car. The door slammed shut just as his pursuers reached the curb. Tires screeched as his driver accelerated, weaving desperately through traffic while Iman's people scrambled to their own vehicles, attempting a brief, frantic chase. It didn't last long, but it didn't need to. The message had been delivered, loud and clear. Pierre had barely escaped with his well-being intact. And the entire city was watching. By the time the videos hit social media, the narrative had already solidified. Clips of Aaron's frantic retreat, of Iman's crew storming through the crowd, of cars peeling out of the parking lot, it was everywhere. Twitter ignited, Instagram stories flooded, and the court of public opinion was in session. Some mocked Aaron, saying he should have known better than to show his face in that city. Others expressed genuine concern that the feud was escalating toward a tragic conclusion. And many pointed the finger directly at Teyana Taylor, asserting that her actions were the root of the entire conflict. The reactions were brutal. "That man thought Atlanta was sweet until Iman's people showed him different," one user tweeted. Another warned, "Aaron better stay out of Georgia if he wants to keep his career." The internet wasn't just gossiping. It was drawing battle lines. Some blamed Aaron for trespassing on forbidden ground, while others condemned Iman's crew for taking intimidation to a dangerous extreme. Yet, amidst the division, a consensus emerged. The situation had become dangerously real for Aaron. The professional fallout was immediate. His name trended for all the wrong reasons. His team scrambled to control the narrative, insisting he was merely an innocent man seeking a quiet night out. But perception is everything, and the prevailing perception was damning. He had been publicly hunted and chased out of Atlanta by Iman Shumpert's allies. That kind of reputation stains a career, especially in an industry where clout and respect are intertwined. And then, the haunting question of Teyana Taylor's silence. What was her reaction as this drama unfolded in real time? Was she horrified? Angry? Secretly fearful for Aaron's safety? Her decision not to comment, not to release a statement, or to publicly intervene spoke volumes, her silence only adding more fuel to the speculative fire. The terrifying truth is that this incident transcends one chaotic night at a club. It represents a feud inching perilously closer to a point of no return. Aaron may have evaded physical harm this time, but the chase served as a stark, unforgettable warning. In Atlanta, in the entertainment industry, and on the streets where reputation is everything, actions scream where words merely whisper. The action taken by Iman's crew made it unequivocally clear that this is far from over. The critical question now hangs in the air. What happens next? Will Aaron retreat entirely, avoiding the city that nearly became his trap? Will Iman himself eventually step from the shadows to make his own stance known, now that his crew has laid down the initial violent marker? Or will this entire episode gradually fade, becoming just another sensationalized internet moment before the next scandal takes its place? No one can say for certain, but the fear, the tension, and the profound uncertainty continue to linger. Because one thing is certain, in a world where online drama manifests in physical confrontations, and where a reputation can be shattered in one chaotic evening, Pierre learned a brutal lesson the hard way. Atlanta does not forgive, and neither does Iman's crew. If this night is any indication, this story's final chapter has yet to be written.